looks like the new baby is getting comfortable and learning to run.
And we are now behind the scenes of the solar project. There's a lot of this that happens that you guys don't see.
Yep. Sometimes things fly together and sometimes things take forever.
Sorry, the washer's so loud. I'm telling them, not you.
So I'm just on SketchUp trying to make sure all my geometry is right for this, because I was out there for the last day or 2 days trying to figure out the geometry, just out there roughing things up, and it just was racking my brain. So I'm now here on SketchUp and making sure everything is correct, and this makes it a lot easier, but it takes some time.
Sorry, we're being kind of quiet because we got a sleeping babe over here. A lot going on. Right out there, there's 2 deer.
There's 3.
3? How cool is this? Right outside our living room window. I guess that's one perk to not having our blinds or curtains installed yet. We would definitely not have seen them. At first I thought it was the skinny cow.
All right, well, now that the hard part is done, the math part, what I'm going to be doing now is taking those trailer jacks, cutting off their foot, because obviously I don't need that bottom piece. Yeah, so I'm going to cut those off and then start kind of makeshifting them into place according to my diagram, and see how it works, if I have any binding issues or whatnot, because last thing I want to do is kind of weld everything in place and then I only have a few degrees of movement because I got binding issues. So I think this should go well, at least in theory, according to my SketchUp. Only time will tell. Okay, so the testing phase was a success. I was a little nervous with it because, I mean, obviously it can work on paper, but who knows how it's going to perform in real life. And I was also afraid, since everything's just clamped together, that it would force things out of place with any pressure. But with just the clamps on, everything stayed in perfect position, and everything worked. Very happy with how it turned out. Well, how it turned out so far in the testing phase. Now we have to get to making actual, I have to make an actual bracket for this that actually attaches, because this will be welded on, not this specific piece, but I'm gonna have to make a bracket for this to attach to the arm, and then weld the trailer jack to my post. All right, I got some good news. I got the trailer jack to work yesterday. I had a bit of an issue of in the middle of the range, it was binding a little bit too much. It became pretty difficult to run through the motions, at least through the center section of the motion, because this is on a pivot, so it follows pretty much a circle all the way around. Well, I have a low point and a high point towards the two, which are easy to get through, but towards the center it pushes out like a because it's a circle, and that was my binding issue. Well, long story short, my measurement from here to here was off because I took the angle finder to use to make sure everything was right. My diagram called for 37 degrees, so I just went off of that. Well, that allowed this bottom measurement to be off by like 1/4 of an inch. So that dropped the tail of this down. It obviously caused too much binding. So I fixed the issue. It's all welded up and good to go. Now I can just go through and do them all now. So now I know what to look for, and everything else should be pretty much easy from here. Oh my God, this camera's getting really heavy, so I'm going to get to work.
Spencer is almost ready now to start welding the jacks to the posts. You guys have no idea how excited I am that this is about to happen, because I just know how much work has gone into this project for him. So I'm glad that we're finally at this step and just that much closer to having all 24 of our panels up here, because just the other day we actually got the last of our kitchen cabinets in. So once this is done, we'll be able to start on our kitchen, which I am just so excited about. The thought of having a normal kitchen just sounds absolutely crazy. Like, I can't even imagine how much easier it's going to make things for me. Are you messing with Daddy's settings? Oh. It's okay, bud.
On a trip you lost your grip. I'll take you on a roller coaster with me. Up and down and all around. Spinning world upside down. You wanna be free.
The last jack. Thank goodness.
All right, so all my jacks are welded on. They look good, but until I actually put the little extension on there, the arm, and make my holes for the bolts that go through the arms that kind of tie the whole thing together, I just got to make sure that there's no binding issues like I had with the first one. There shouldn't be. I think I have that all resolved, but there's always room for error.
Standing up and looking at the satellites. Heaven's getting closer than I realize. Gonna reach for the sky. Gonna reach for the sky. Suddenly the stars aren't so far away. I can feel the light shining on my face. Gonna reach for the sky.
Well, a bit of an issue. Every hole he just drilled is in the wrong spot.
Well, I don't know if the others are technically in the wrong spot yet, but most likely, yeah. Didn't take into account these pivots in the center, since I run a string line and made sure, because each post is not perfect, they're slightly off from each other, so I ran a string line down to make sure all my holes were in the center of the in line, so all my pivot was all in line. Well, since this pivot is slightly more forward than that pivot, that throws this off, and now I'm trying to figure out that whole thing. So
how to fix it.
yeah, kind of wish I would have just left it at the center of the post instead of making the pivot all the same. I don't know.
You'll figure it out.
Hopefully.
Well, we don't really have any other options, so.
Right. I think I'm gonna have to re-drill those holes, at least those, all the way down. I thought it was going to throw this off, but this arm is correct. That hole is messing up the geometry of this arm.
Goodness.
You think you're doing something right by making the pivots all in line, and I just made my life.
Wait, yeah, so now instead of just going off of, you know, the same measurements for every single one, now you're going to have to just take it one post at a time, because each one is going to be different.
Yeah, each one's different. So I think
Oh
I'm
goodness.
probably best off just re-drilling those holes. I'm gonna have to weld in that hole,
Oh, babe.
and then thought I was doing myself a favor.
I think we're gonna die building this solar mount.
All right, so after running through my calculations, it's exactly what happened. Making sure that pivot line was straight is where I went wrong. So now this pivot is 3/8 of an inch too far that way. So yeah, I gotta take that out, drill a new hole, and then probably fill that in. Honestly, I'm probably going to weld it in first and then drill a new hole.
So now all these arms have to come down.
I don't know about all of them, but I know the last one's right. The two ends are correct.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so there's only 3 to fix, probably.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought.
2 out of 5 is failing.
True. Well, I didn't say you didn't fail. I just said it wasn't as bad as I thought. But at least all the jacks are good, right? We think.
Hopefully. That's the problem when you're the architect, the engineer, the builder, the general contractor, the everything, the welder.
Everything's
Carpenter.
all on you.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Well, that's okay. You'll fix it. Fixing this may not seem like a big deal, but it's not exactly the greatest news after we've been working on it all day. At this point, the sun's going down, Spencer's obviously over it, I'm over it, Bear's over it, and Io, well, he's not over it, he's always happy. And now to fix this mistake, Spencer has to grind the primer, weld the holes shut, clean up the welds, and re-drill the holes, all to get us right back to the point we thought we were at hours ago. Not a big deal, but not quite the way we were hoping to end the day. Good, look, they're riding bikes. You want to ride your bike? Yeah, we can ride your bike.
Okay, so everything's looking good with this solar power, this new mounting system. Yesterday afternoon, I was finally able to work out the kinks of the last few jacks. After working out all those issues, everything's looking good. I no longer have binding issues or anything like that, so very happy with the end result so far. So now it's just on to priming and painting, and then reassembling. And then I cannot wait to get all these panels up here. It's going to be like a giant solar panel wall in our front yard, but I think it's going to look really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, come here.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, we can get some.
Where'd you see that at?
Yeah,
Yeah?
you feel that?
Oh. I'm sorry.
So, question.
What?
Now that you are in the thick of it, do you regret doing an adjustable mount?
It probably have been way easier to just buy an adjustable mount. It would have been easier to buy an adjustable mount.
Oh, just versus building it?
Yeah, I don't know. I like building the stuff and learning how things work and operate. Like, I thought this was going to be way easier than what it actually was, but
Right. Right, but do you wish that you would have just built a fixed mount is what I was saying.
If you calculate time spent versus dollars, probably, but yeah, because you could just always throw up more solar panels. Granted, we don't really have any other spot at the moment.
Well, just wait. Wait
But-
for that first really cloudy day where you're able to have these adjusted.
And
it
gain 5% more.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. It'll be huge. You'll be happy we did it then.
We are making 500 watts more.
Hey, it adds up.